also.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, sir. What you're watching on your screens is a photograph that has been recovered of this Hyundai i20 car, white in color, bearing registration number HR26CE7674. This is a photograph that has been recovered from the point of sale of the vehicle. You can clearly see that the person who is the recipient of the car key of this vehicle, this was in 2014. It is a 2013 model Hyundai i20. The registered owner has been detained in Gurugram. So clearly the registered owner was not driving this vehicle. As present things stand, this vehicle has ceased to exist. Only the hubcaps are left. There's nothing left of the vehicle. That has been the intensity of the explosion. Now this vehicle did indeed have a CNG cylinder. It's registered as per its registration documentation as a petrol/CNG car. Now that's the information there on your screens. That's the car. Now what is of interest value is who owned the car. For that we have the registration certificate. The registration certificate tells you that this car was owned by an individual who was living in Gurugram. That individual has now been identified, that individual has been detained, and that individual has been arrested. His name is Muhammad Salman, son of Muhammad Shahid. He purchased this car on the 18th of March in 2014. His address is in Shanti Nagar in Gurugram. He says that he sold the car in 2024 to an individual residing in Delhi. However, the registration certificate of the car has not been hypothecated to the new owner. The registration details have not been changed, and indeed the registration RC of the car has been recovered from his possession. Strange way of selling a car. So now, did this person know that his car was about to be blown up by unknown individuals or was about to blow up with unknown individuals behind the wheel? The one big difference this time around being that the car was moving. It was at a red light, it was moving with not only somebody behind the wheel but people sitting in the car. Now, there are 6 unidentified dead bodies. 8 people are dead. 2 of the bodies have been identified. 1 a resident of Delhi, 1 a resident of Amroha in UP. 6 bodies have not been identified. Bipin Sharma, one has to then assume that of the 6 bodies not identified, include the passengers of this car, including the driver of this car. The car was, as told to us by eyewitnesses, moving in motion. It wasn't parked as an empty car on the side of the road. There were people sitting inside it, and the car was driving in slow traffic near a red light in a congested area when the explosion happened. So either these people had no idea, they were merely driving a car and somebody had planted a bomb in the car and it blew up, and maybe the CNG made it worse, or they knew exactly what was happening and it accidentally blew up at the wrong spot, or indeed outside a metro station at 7:30 a.m. in the middle of a crowd. That was the plan. In that regard, it was a suicide attack. What do you think?
Yeah, it's, we can only speculate as of now, because coming to any conclusion, I think would be erroneous on anyone's part. So I think it is a matter of investigation. The investigators are already on their job and they have quite a daunting task up their sleeves. So now, there are 2 aspects which I was just making a brief mention of. One is, of course, if, some might say this was an intelligence failure. But then the other aspect, if we look at the other aspect, is, of course, the tragedy, the loss of lives, those lives, that no compensation is there for that. But then the fact of the matter is, was there a bigger sinister plot? And with the nabbing of all these culprits, these terror suspects in a day, yesterday, today, so has that been instrumental in mitigating the tragedy that was planned?
So what are you saying? You are saying that it would seem obvious to you that the past presidents indicate serial blasts. They never indicate one single lone wolf incident. India has always been serial blasts, serial attacks, lots of people involved, lots of sites. So you are thinking the bust that has happened in Faridabad has actually busted the potential of several blasts, not only in Delhi but in several cities, and these guys had the choice either to run or to go with what they got, and they decided to go with what they got, and which is why there's only been one.
As of now, only speculation is what we can do.
Yeah.
But then the dots are going to be joined by the investigators, the interrogators, and of course, as I said, a very daunting job up their sleeves, quite an uphill task for them, a big challenge. But then, we should also bear in mind the fact our enemy nation, our neighbor Pakistan, and we made it amply clear to them that any act of terror will be treated as an act of war. So I think they also know it quite well that we mean business and we are tough taskmasters, and we have shown them by launching the Operation Sindoor. And the Prime Minister also.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Breaking developments coming in. UK MP Preeti Patel has now issued her condolences. Thoughts with the families and the first responders. This is coming in from the United Kingdom, where Preeti Patel has issued condolences. Horrifying reports from Delhi. My thoughts are with the families of those killed, the emergency responders, and the Indian people as they confront this dark moment. The UK government must support British nationals in Delhi and responds to requests for assistance. I don't think any British nationals were per se involved in anything around this locality, but their job is, of course, to look after the interests of their citizens. I don't think they're taking it lightly. The Argentinians have come out with information on this. Meanwhile, more breaking developments coming in our way. The Iranian embassy in India has now put out a post. The embassy of the Islamic Republic of Iran in India expresses its deep sorrow over the loss of lives and injuries of several Indian citizens in the car blast incident in Delhi. Extends its sincere condolences to the government and the people of the Republic of India. The embassy also conveys its heartfelt sympathy to the bereaved families of the victims and wishes patience and comfort for them, speedy recovery to those who have been injured. More breaking developments coming in. Guidelines have been issued by the Haryana government. We are being told this is in public interest. It's an appeal to people not to pay attention to any false rumors, should immediately report any suspicious objects by dialing the emergency helpline of 112. If you have spotted and happen to be in Haryana objectionable or suspicious objects that are unattended, and if you would like to report them, the number is 112. You can call up 112 and report those objects. Meanwhile, there is no reason to panic and don't believe in any rumors, is the suggestion from the government of a guideline that has been issued in Haryana. Meanwhile, breaking developments coming in from the other side of the west of India in Ahmedabad, where we are being told following the blast in Delhi, the Ahmedabad city has also been placed on high alert. Police have intensified checking across the city, especially at railway stations where incoming vehicles are being inspected. DCP Rupal Solanki has come out and spoken and has said that extra measures are being taken in public places to ensure security. More breaking developments coming in. France has issued an advisory for all French nationals in Delhi. French nationals in Delhi are advised to exercise utmost vigilance and caution, is what they're being told. They're also being told to avoid the area, stay away from the area of the Lal Killa metro station and any gatherings. So that's a cautionary advisory that is being put out. So everybody is treating it. Nobody is calling it a terror attack yet. Everybody is treating it as such. Big news coming in. The car that exploded, which is the Hyundai i20 car, which exploded, we are being told was sold to an individual by the name of Tariq. Tariq, we are being told, was a resident of Pulwama in Jammu and Kashmir. Can we get the photograph on the screen since we have it? So we can put it on the screens, the correct one. This one you cannot see the individual. Now this is the point of sale of the car. I cannot confirm to you whether this is the point of the sale of the car in 2013, which is what it looks like. So in this case, this would be Mohammed Shahid, who is receiving the car, who is a resident of Gurugram and currently under detention. The information earlier came to our way that he sold the car to someone in Delhi, but it seems to be that he sold the car to a resident of Pulwama in J&K. Now, I don't want to put too much 2 and 2 together, but if you are a sleuth, if you are a cop, if you are an investigator trying to examine a potential CNG blast, and you found out that a man driving the car bought it from a resident of Gurugram only to run the car in Pulwama in Jammu and Kashmir. That for the life of me, General Sudhakar, I mean, we are in a free society, so you can buy a car from Bengaluru if you wanted to drive it in Delhi. But why would you go so far to buy a Hyundai i20? Why would you go to Gurugram if you lived in Pulwama to buy a Hyundai i20, sir? I mean, it can happen. There is a reasonable assumption that it could happen, but there's also a reasonable assumption that it becomes very suspicious.
Absolutely, Rishabh, you made a very strong point. In fact, human life as such, we are designed, structured by God, cosmic power, divine power to live in comfort. There is a comfort zone of operation. Our day-to-day life and the livelihood has to operate in the realms of comfort zone. Why should somebody living in Pulwama or vice versa, plan to drive a car which he has bought in Gurugram? So suffice to say, there is a wide nexus which has been well established. I'm so happy. In fact, one more issue which needs to be highlighted is that the overground workers who were operating earlier in Srinagar are very active in the caliphate which has come into existence. It's called a global caliphate, by the way, in the Jammu area. And I am also given to understand, as per my research and time to time updation, is that the Rohingyas, unfortunately, I don't want to take their name, I don't have any evidence, they are also into this. And there is a racket, there is a drug racket also. And in the drug racket,
well, to say that there is a drug racket is open secret. Can we specify it to one particular individual? I certainly cannot. To say that certain people who come to this country have ulterior motives to come to this country is well known. We find them some of them trying to cross the LOC, some of them try to come through other means. So not unreasonable to say so, but now here you have another twist in the tale. A man in Gurugram in 2014, March off, buys a white color Hyundai i20 car. For some reason, 10 years later, it's a petrol CNG car. So he can still use it for the next 4 or 5 years. Okay. Even with restrictions in Delhi, this is a Gurugram registered car, so they don't even have restrictions for petrol usage.